Welcome to Comcast Newsmakers. I'm Candace Kelly. On June 26, 2015, the U.S. Supreme Court legalized same-sex marriage. The United States was the 21st country to do so. But discrimination against same-sex couples remains an issue, especially in the workplace. Florida Senator Joseph Abruzzo of District 25 has legislation on the table that could change how same-sex couples are treated in the workplace. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Candace, I'm so excited to be on your show once again.
Now, you know, when you don't have these types of protections, and we're talking mostly about northern Florida, those counties that don't have these protections, about 40%, it can create a hostile work environment. It's interesting because with such a large LGBT community, it seems that this would be well on its way that all counties would sign on. What's going on there?
No question about it, and it's really, there are communities throughout the entire state that have not adopted, and what we're saying is that we want to add to the books that it is illegal to discriminate against somebody in the workplace if they are gay. Right now it is actually legal, and that is just not right. It's a fairness issue, it's a civil rights issue, and we are working very hard to change the laws on the books to do just that, to say, hey, look, we're not going to discriminate against people. That's just wrong. No matter where you stand on the spectrum, it's just wrong to discriminate against people.
Okay, and so how will that happen county by county, or were you looking at something larger?
No, our bill will make it a statewide law. So it will not have to go county to county, it will not have to go community to community. We are going to say to Florida businesses, you cannot discriminate against somebody if they are gay. And that's blatantly what it is.
I would imagine that you would have received a lot of support for this bill.
We have received a tremendous amount of support, specifically from the business community. Some of Florida's top employers like Disney, CSX, Florida Blue, and on and on and on have signed on to the bill. Not only have they signed on to endorse the bill, but they have had their executives and workforce come up here to advocate that this is what they want. Many corporations have self-imposed the rule on themselves, saying we're going to set these policies. Disney is a prime example of that. And we are just going to continue to work with our business community in an incredible coalition of civil rights groups and business groups to get this done here in Tallahassee, hopefully this year.
And have you seen a lot of cases arise where they have said that, hey, I've been discriminated against
Sure.
and I have no recourse?
Absolutely. There has been well-documented cases all throughout the state of Florida that say this. And look, this is the civil rights movement of our time, and we have to get this done. I believe we will get it done. And just an incredible team working on this throughout the House, the Senate, and of course the community at large.
Let's move on to another bill
Sure.
that you are trying to get support for, and that has to do with penalties for violating various protective orders in domestic violence cases.
Correct. Right now in Florida law, and the prime example is really domestic violence cases, majority of them, of course, unfortunately against females. When a judge enters an order that says the person cannot go to that home or contact that person, if they violate that order, what it is right now in Florida law is a misdemeanor, meaning they could violate that order 100 times, and all our state attorneys and law enforcement can do is charge them with a misdemeanor. So we have a bill that says on the third offense, if they violate that order, it's going to become a felony, and you're going to be looking at serious jail time. And again, it's the right thing to do. I believe that this is one of the most important bills we have in the Senate this year, in the legislature, that could protect females without question. So I'm looking very forward. We just passed the bill out of its first committee yesterday. I believe it's gone through 2 committee stops in the House, and I think that extra level and necessary level of protection for our community is coming this year.
Yeah, and I would imagine that, well, certainly somebody who has an order of protection order thinks that it's going to work.
Right.
But if you do something to someone so many times, could they also file harassment charges? Or that's just such a different venue that it's excessive and you don't want, and harder to do? Well,
we're talking about injunctions, meaning if a judge says you cannot go to a home, you cannot contact somebody on the internet, phone, etc., and that, unfortunately, some of the people that are violating these orders figure it out quickly, that the punishment is not that stiff, and it's a misdemeanor, and we're backlogged, and it's not going to get as high a level as a felony, and this continues to happen. So we need to make sure we stiffen. This is an instance where we have to stiffen the penalty. We have to protect those who the judge already said you need protection
exactly, to honor the original protective order to begin with. Yeah.
So we're working very hard.
All right. I can imagine there's a lot of bipartisan support in that. Good to see you.
Good to see you as well. Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely. I'm Candace Kelly, and I've been speaking with Senator Joseph Abruzzo here at the Capitol in Tallahassee, Florida. Thanks so much for watching.